Imagine coming up with the most perfect setup for the most hilarious Maids of Honor speech. You discuss this with your co-maid of honor and get to planning. The day before the wedding, you realise you're missing a key part of your speech. Backup music. You will have to approach the DJ after the ceremony, hopeful that he can assist you in your quest to achieve comedic greatness. At the end of May last year, one of my best friends got married, and I had the privilege of being one of her two maids of honours with another one of my best friends, Casey. Two things we knew for sure. We were going to throw an epic bachelorette party, not to be spoken of, and give a viral-worthy speech. Casey came to me with a sensational idea. What if we sang our speech to the tune of Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne? I was hooked, in love, amazed. What a hilarious idea. And parodying a song to create the love story of our friends? Who wouldn't want that as their wedding speech? A few weeks before the wedding, Casey and I met up to write our speech. We sorted out our lyrics, made sure that we included our friends meeting, getting engaged, and a little bit of an introduction about ourselves. We practiced a few times and then agreed to drive down together the day before the wedding. Until then, we would just practice separately. After lots of drives to and from work, practicing the speech, singing my daughter's speech instead of nursery rhymes, it was time for the big day. Casey and I had practiced a lot. Unfortunately, I had gotten some of the words wrong. That was okay. We made a couple of adjustments to the lyrics. I made sure I knew the right words, and we practiced the rest of the 2-hour drive down. When we arrived at the bride's house, we were ready to go for the big day. That same day we drove down, we helped set up at the venue, hung out with the bridal party, typical bridesmaid activities, and then that night we went to the bride's house to have a mini pizza party and hype her up for the next day. The next morning, Casey and I woke up nice and early, made everyone coffee and breakfast, and put on our matching dressing gowns, and got the house ready for the hairdressers and makeup artists to arrive. After we all had our hair and makeup done, got ready in our dresses, it was time for my beautiful friend to get dressed. My gosh, what a vision. I was 22 weeks pregnant at this stage, and I will stand by that as my reasoning as to why I cried as soon as I saw her. Just look at how beautiful she was. This is a collection of photos just of me crying from getting ready. After the ceremony, which was beautiful, Casey and I went to find the DJ, which, as I stated before, was so we could find out if he could help us with our speech. Thankfully, he could. He had a way to play the music without the lyrics. The plan was, our MC was going to start to introduce us, and then the music was going to cut him off. Casey and I would look just as surprised as everyone else, looking around at the bridal party, shrug and make our way up to the microphone. The DJ agreed, we all had a laugh, and then Casey and I went to the bridal photos. During dinner, everyone ate and chatted quite happily, glad to be having a couple of drinks and getting some food. Then, just before dessert, it was time for the speeches. The MC jumped up. We might get ready for some speeches. Silence. So we might start with our maids of honor. More silence. Please welcome Alex and Casey. That was it. We'd been introduced. The shock value of the music cutting him off was gone. That's okay. We jumped up, gave our speech, and everyone loved it. And of course, our bride and groom were very happy. My story here shows transactional communication between Casey and myself, as well as between Casey, myself, and the DJ. There was back and forth communication, and we came to agreements on outcomes. Teachers can use transactional communication when deciphering what students know, as well as helping resolve problems that students might have. When writing our story, our knowledge of our friend was shown through our chosen topics and content selection, which reflects Standard 2.2 of the APST, Content Selection and Organisation. Wedding speeches are supposed to be fun, have a bit of a joke, and most importantly, centre around the bride and groom. Teachers can follow this standard when planning lessons and assignments to make sure they align with the curriculum. My story also demonstrates care from the Code of Ethics, as Casey and I clearly had such a good rapport with our friend to create a love story about her and her now husband. The value of care helps teachers know how students can be taught and what topics they may need a bit of extra help in motivation for.